What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we've got another First Shots for you. Today we're going to be looking at a classic, or a remake of a classic. Today we're going to be going over the FN15 A4. Now this is a direct clone. FN makes military contracted rifles, and it's a clone of the A4 platform, and it has a lot of features on it that maybe are outdated but look super cool. And today basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shooting this guy, and we're going to be getting a feel for what people had to deal with, what maybe people still have to deal with, and whether or not this is still a effective platform for self-defense and shit hit the fan and that kind of thing. Now spoiler alert, I believe it is, and I am actually a fan of the 20-inch barrel. However, they're not quite as popular as they used to be for a plethora of reasons, which we'll go over. And obviously there's pros and cons to a rifle like this by comparison to maybe your 16-inch variant or your 12.5 or your 11.5. But that being said, they're still more than usable, so we're going to show you today that hopefully this thing runs relatively well. These are pretty expensive, especially for what they are, but remember they're a direct clone from the same manufacturer. They have the same quality, and they essentially have the same parts, other than the fun switch. So very cool rifle so far. We have a 20-inch barrel, government profile, A2 sight block there, which is very cool. It looks cool. It gets in the way of some optics. Now if you put a magnified optic on this, it might get in your way a little bit, but it's still no big deal. Came with the vert grip, and it came with the RAS rail with the Knight's Armament panels on it, which is very cool. They look awesome, and you know, if you played Modern Warfare 2 or anything like that, it's kind of hard not to love this gun. Back here we have standard mil-spec receivers. The whole gun weighs 8.2 pounds. I said 20-inch barrel with direct impingement, and it does have a 1 in 7 twist rate. Now, a lot of people mistake longer barrel for more accuracy. That's not always the case. You can actually have a more accurate shorter barrel depending on the rigidity. It's been a rough day. And rigidity apparently is now a fucking word that I use. But rigidity of the barrel, the harmonics of the barrel, particularly the twist rate and how that twist rate interacts with your bullet weight. So all those things are going to be more important to accuracy than barrel length. But what barrel length does give you is effective range. And what I mean by that is it gives you more velocity, especially 223, heavily velocity dependent. Sweet spot somewhere between 11.5 and 20-inch generally. You can go higher than that, but generally 20 is the max and 11.5 is the minimum. 10.5, you start to lose a lot of your effective range. Whereas you're gonna have several hundred yards more effective range as far as lethality, tumbling, and then you're gonna get that hydrostatic shock with this gun much further out than you would a 10.5 or an 11.5, just simply because there's almost double the barrel and you're gonna get a lot more velocity. So very cool on that. Now the disadvantage of the 20-inch barrel is that it's gonna be much harder to CQB without the right techniques. Now you can go over the shoulder, and you can do a lot of different stuff, and you really can make this work. This could definitely be a very effective home defense rifle, very lethal up close, very, very soft recoil on the 20 inches generally because of the longer gas system. You have a full rifle gas system as opposed to a mid-length or a carbine, which was very popular in like the 90s, early 2000s. Now most people prefer the mid-length and then the rifle length, or even the intermediate, which is right in between, because it allows you a softer recoil impulse, but a lot of what it does is it lasts longer on the parts. So you're not beating the shit out of your bolt carrier and your buffer and all that stuff going backward, getting hit with too much gas, like maybe a DD Mark 18, something like that, very overgassed, whereas this is gonna be right in the sweet spot considering ARs, M16s were designed to be 20-inch rifles after all. So this is kind of what they intended. Now back here we have the non-adjustable stock. And for a guy like me, that works great. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that say this is all you need. You don't need anything else because when I go out to a match, I run this length. Well, that's great, but I'm 6'4" and my wife's 5'2". And the reality is that this works awesome for me, but it does not work awesome for her. So this type of stock is awesome. It's very rigid, it's very durable, and it's cheap, but it only works for a particular body type, so keep that in mind. Back here we did have a just a standard grip, and I did put a Magpul XL because I'm XL, so I wanted an XL grip. But other than that, the whole gun is ready to go. Oh yeah, we did change the rear sight also because I just really didn't like the rear sight that it came with. We threw a Magpul rear on there because at some point I'm going to be running a magnified optic on this, not today, but for the review, and I wouldn't be able to run it with that rear sight because the rear sight was too tall and I couldn't put a magnified optic over it, so we just flopped it out for something low pro and a little more 2020s. But yeah, the vertical grip is obviously going to be maybe a little too long, but I often just use the C-clamp grip and I only use just a little bit of the grip, but it is nice to have that, especially if you're holding the gun up for long periods of time. So I think it's gonna be a sick rifle. I think that we're gonna be able to shoot this really well, but there's only one way to find out. Before we do that though, I wanna mention my patron supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys, I have this rifle. I bought this gun with the patron dollars, so I appreciate that. And if you wanna support the channel, that is the best way to do it. We try to make the most honest gun content on the internet, and if you like that, just go down to the link and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS, it's a youth shelter. We support it in every video, and please go down there and click that link and donate a few bucks to those kids. If everybody watched this video donated $1, their lives would be a lot better.
Wow. Got it.
Yeah, but I don't know where. I'm even at the bolt.
Yep, it's hitting the bolt.
It is?
Yeah.
It's hitting the bolt? Like
based on what I can see multiple hits right near the bolt.
Oh, can you really?
Yep.
Okay, let's try that little C-zone then. Maybe it's closer than I thought. I'm gonna aim that little C-zone on the right, that one like by the Texas Star.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the head.
All right, give her a shot. Nope, you did not get that.
Neckline. Nope. Center mass right in the middle. Nope.
You're going high.
Low. Definitely not going high.
Well, it's hitting above it. There you go.
I was going wide right is what was happening.
Oh, okay.
What you're seeing.
I never said that I was a good spotter.
What you were seeing on that bolt was an optical illusion. The holes are actually all the way to the right of it.
Oh my gosh, I am the worst.
All right, same target.
Got it. That was to the right.
Same spot?
Yep.
Okay. I'm aiming at the bolt on the far left C-zone target, the one like 5 yards to the right of the paper.
Okay. You're still right.
Yep. And the fucking EOTech on this is really right for some reason.
Because it doesn't want to be wrong. That is pretty freaking dead nuts.
Yeah, we went a little too far finally, but yeah, we are very, very close now.
Ah, shoot.
Shell get you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The velocity on that.
Right, right. Cool. Prints on that 6-inch plate easy, so yeah, this is gonna be fun.
That thing is smoking.
We're gonna get her hot today.
Yeah, you are.
It is a long bitch. You're gonna need to shoot off a barbecue. Calm down.
Dang, we are running through ammo.
Yeah, we are. That's 100 already.
Here we have a wild spider. Oh no, where'd he go?
Well, he's probably gonna crawl up my ass.
Oh boy.
All right, so I do want to mention again, there's a couple of pros and cons to this. And again, you get a lot of velocity out of this, but it is a little bit harder to wield than some of the other guns, especially if you're smaller statured. Now, one of the things I do like about the gun is this RAS rail here, this quad rail that's underneath these giant panels. This has not gotten nearly as hot as a lot of the M-LOK rails we've been running this week. I've actually shot 3 ARs this week, 200 rounds, 200 rounds, 200 rounds. And for sure, this is the easiest to continue running in the heat, which is pretty wild. The other thing is we're gonna do a little half-ass CQB around this barrel, but keep in mind for all you guys who say you can't do it out there, that like Marines in the military or Marines in the Army have been CQBing with these in like Fallujah and shit for decades. So if you don't think you can, you can. There's just techniques to it. You know, you can come over the shoulder if you want, you can go under if you want, keep it ready if you want, and there's a lot of different ways to do things, but you can always get her done. I mean, even before this was a thing, I mean, people were using M1 Grands and stuff like that, and Normandy and all that shit, so it's just techniques and practice. You ready? Hopefully this frangible will run in this gun, because, you know, frangible's iffy.
Yep.
What do you think? Not too bad at CQB, right?
That was good.
Should we try some from the hip?
Yeah.
Not too bad from the hip either.
All right, last mag.
Should we see how it home defends?
Yeah.
Oop. They win.
Help me!
Terribly slow a 20-inch barrel is, isn't it? Let's try it one more time. Yeah.
You like my damsel in distress voice?
I do. I just don't think you'd be able to CQB with that. I just think it's too slow.
Looks like it to me.
All right, so first impressions are extremely positive, kind of as I expected. Haven't had any experience with this before, but I have shot 20-inch ARs quite a few times, and the AR is not something that I need too much practice on. I shoot them quite a bit. Mil-spec trigger worked great. That's very heavy, much heavier than even some of the guns that I've had in budget AR, so keep that in mind. Now, one of the things you'll get with like these mil-spec rifle clones a lot of times is going to be just weird stuff. Like I prefer Allen key screws in my grips and stuff like that, whereas this you're going to get like flathead, so it's just a little cheaper. The grip's going to be cheap. The trigger's going to be cheap and stuff like that. These are one of these things that's more like a labor of love because it's a classic clone, and if you're going to shoot it and you're going to shoot at high speed, you're going to need to drop a few things into it. That being said, most people that are going to buy this are going to be pretty happy with it right out of the gate. It's a good home defense rifle. It's a good shit hit the fan rifle. You get a lot of velocity. It's still easy to use in pretty much all conditions. If a 20-inch rifle was the only thing I had for home defense, I wouldn't be pissed about it. Like, you can use it very easily, and if somebody's in there and trying to steal your TV or some shit, or trying to jack your wife or something like that, you can easily handle any situation, in my opinion, with this. A 20-inch 5.56 in some circumstances, especially for a survival rifle, would be great as well. You get really good velocity, take down larger animals than maybe an 11.5 could. The front sight post was no problem. The fact that I didn't Loctite my Surefire scout light caused it to rattle the hell almost off, but that's no big deal. One thing I don't love about the gun are going to be the Knights Armament rail panels. For some reason they just move no matter how much I want to lock them. They have these little push locks here, but for some reason it doesn't want to lock, which is whatever. And then on top of that, they are relatively large, bulky, and heavy on an already large, bulky, and heavy rail. Now, another awesome thing that you're going to get with the quad rail is you're going to get this, I don't know if this is a Knights, it looks like a Knights Armament vertical grip, and this also rattled loose in the testing, and I think we actually lost the screw that came in it. So we shot 120 rounds through it, and 2 things on the rail rattled loose. So there is that. I guess I don't really know what to say about that, other than the fact that I'm just going to have to maybe comb my grass and find that screw. Other than that though, if you're looking for a clone rifle, it's very cool and it's available. Now with an MSRP of like $2,000 somewhere in there, this is not one of those things that you're gonna buy just for your first rifle. This is one of those things you're gonna buy because you either served with this rifle, you carried this rifle, or you just really like the look, or you play a lot of Modern Warfare, or like you just really want to get into a 20-inch like Knight's Armament FN style rifle. But you are going to have some ergonomic shortcomings, especially with the grip and the rail. It's going to be very heavy too, at like 8.5 pounds, sorry. But with the 20-inch barrel, the rifle length gas system, and then the 8-pound weight, you're going to soak up a shitload of the recoil. So you're going to feel almost no recoil at all when you shoot it, and it's going to be very, very smooth and very quick. And other than that though, I can say that it's basically an AR. 5.56 is a great caliber. It's easy to get. It's affordable. And if you were to invest in this rifle, PMags and 5.56 are just super easy to get. They're a great defensive caliber, overall caliber, and I think if you like the look of it, you're going to be really happy with the function. We had no reliability issues in 120. And if you want to see a full review of this, just let me know. It won't be difficult. It's a fun gun to shoot, and I would like to pattern this rifle during the review, so if you want to see a full video on just the accuracy of this gun, you can let me know in the comment section below. Maybe we'll shoot it for groups at 50 and 100, and then maybe we'll just push it out. I'm going to be going to my buddy Nick soon, and we're going to be shooting a lot of long-range guns, so maybe I throw a 1-6 on this and just see how it does at 500 yards. I assume it'll be really great. We won't be shooting at a target the size of a Jeep though at 500 yards, so we will be shooting at probably a 1/3 or 2/3 IPSC target. So I'm pretty sure it'll still hold that. If it's 1 to 2 MOA, we're gonna be good, and we'll just have to see how it goes. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.